Kia ora. Hi, I'm Vanessa, and as you can see, I'm at my desk at Te Kura, and we're about to start talking about exam revision. Are you having trouble studying? Well, I'm going to give you a hand. What I want you to do is think about the 5 things that you will need in order to be able to answer questions about literary response. So at the top of the scale is theme. Then we've got character, then setting, then style, and a big thumbs down if all you know is plot. So those are the only 5 things you're going to be asked about. So what we're going to do now is talk about what those words mean and start to put our notes into some kind of order. Theme. Do you remember when you first started school and your teacher would read you a story, maybe like The Tortoise and the Hare, and you would listen to the story about the tortoise plodding on while the hare ran off and did that, this, that, and the other, and everyone thought that the hare would win. But the hare falls asleep and suddenly the tortoise wins the race. After you listened to the whole big story, the teacher said, "The moral of the story is, if you keep going, you will get there." And that's what a theme is. Somehow it attempts to explain the entire story. So you first started hearing about it with moral, then your teacher might have talked about message or the meaning, the ideas the author are giving you, or the issues raised. And at level 2, we start to talk about the author or the director's purpose. Those are the things that make up theme. They are very different to plot. Plot is what happens. Character. We're really interested in what the character does, then what they say, and to a lesser degree what they look like, unless it's a film. If it's a film, we're very interested in how they're dressed, their makeup, and how they appear to us. In a novel or written text, we're interested in what they do. Shakespeare said, "Remember a man for what he does." So what does this character do? And then we can start building a profile about what kind of person our character is. Then we have setting. Setting, I want you to think of a little word, T-A-P, tap, and I want you to let a tap go off every time you see the word setting. The time. Is it in the past? Is it contemporary? Or is it futuristic? Place. We all know where the story takes place, but it's the one in the middle, atmosphere, which is a bit of a pest, and most people forget to include atmosphere. Atmosphere is the mood of the piece, and we get that by looking at pest, the political. Who has the power in the story? Who's making the rules? What type of government system or what type of organisation is creating the rules? Then you've got the economic. Who has the money? The golden rule. Those with the gold make the rules. Then you've got social. What kind of social fabric is it? Is the place run by religion, by anything? And then technological. Technological is usually a clue for whether it is set in the past, the present, or the future. Then we have style. Style is how the story is told. Who's telling the story? Who's being kept quiet? Often, in stories that were told prior to the 1950s, we never heard from any women. And if there were black people in the story, we never heard from them either. Why is that? Why were they kept quiet? And last but not least is plot, the events that happen. But if they are all you know, you're heading for a not achieved. Okay, let's have a look at some questions. Now that we know our 5 key elements, let's take a look at some old NCEA questions to see how we would go about answering one of those questions. Question 1. Describe at least one character or individual you enjoyed reading about in the texts. Explain why the characters, or individuals helped you understand an idea in the text. Take a look at the question. See the word character, so we're interested in what they do and what they say, and how that helped us understand an idea. If we go back to theme, we see that idea is a word used to describe theme. So how does the character make us understand the theme of the text? Question 2. Describe at least one idea in the text that you found interesting. Explain why the idea was interesting to the text as a whole. You'll notice that time I didn't add the S's. So you're being asked, what was the theme you found interesting, and how does that relate to the text as a whole? So the plot, how does that make us aware of the story? At the beginning, at the end, what have we learnt? Question 3. Describe at least one important aspect of setting in the text. Explain why an aspect of setting helped you understand a key idea in the text. Setting could include time and or place. Remember the tap, time, atmosphere, and place. All of those are theme. One aspect might be one component. And how did it make us understand a key idea? How did it make us understand the theme? Go back to the pest, the political, the economic, the social, the technological. How does that make us understand the theme of the text?
Stop.